my God. And he wears this white shirt and blue jeans one day on set, and we are like, oh my God, like, look at him. He's so hot. We don't want to say it about our coach, but the girls are like, oh, we have these little crushes on our coach. So he was just this. He used to just be the Papa Bear. That's what we used to call him internally amongst us. Before Chak De released, the reviews and the way they were thinking about Chak De wasn't very, very promising, because a lot of them, when the promo released, kept saying, "Arey, ye to sab ladkiyan to Maai lag rahi hai, Maai lag rahi hai. What are they doing? It's like a complete madness. What is Mr. Khan done? What is Yashraj produced?" They had a whole thing about promoting the girls one after the other and stuff. They had a strategy plan. They had to change all of that to get Shah Rukh Khan sir in the main frame, saying that that's the crowd will come because of Mr. Khan, obviously. What happened after Chak De was, I think 8 months or 6 months down the line, the markets crashed. So I did sign a few really good films in the interim, but somehow either they didn't take off or they got delayed, and all of that happened. The rise of the Chak De girls, you sort of didn't see any of us around as such.
It was like 14 years back, when Chak De had hit the screens. How did the offer come to you, to be part of such an iconic film?
It was quite strange. I think I was one of the last people to get on board the film. I used to do this show on Zoom TV called Mirchi Top 20. It was a music show, but it was also a travel show. And during one of my travels to Australia, I was trying to ride a Harley Davidson. Must have looked really funny, I think. But at that particular time, the casting director, Abhimanyu Ray, Jaideep Sahni, the writer of the film, and I think, and Shimit, the director of the film, all three of them, I think, had just saw that particular clip of that episode or something like that. It was coming on TV. And I think they sort of called each other up or sort of had a thing and spoke to Adi and said, why aren't we looking at this girl? Maybe, let's get her on. Because I must have looked kind of sporty, I don't know. But yeah, that's how it sort of happened. Shimit and I knew each other before that. And that's how he called me into the office, and he said, this is this film I'm doing. Would you like to audition for it, etc.? And I said, of course I would.
After the release, the very next day, of the movie release, what was it like? When you knew that the film had done well, it was minting money. What was the first reaction?
But I didn't know whether I was coming or going. The whole world suddenly wanted me. And you know what? Thank God there was no Instagram and social media. Otherwise, I mean, even a mismatched release, I used to be tagged in 100 stories every day, and my brain almost was like short circuiting. So I don't even know what would have happened if Chak De had released in this time. Having said that, I think it was, like I said, I did not know. I could see the first day, first show with my family. And after that, my phone didn't stop ringing. After that, I have traveled to every city in this country, or even abroad, to just, I don't know, I was actually giving team building speeches at organizations and corporates, and I was like, how did I get here? But people wanted to know everything that happened, and it was exciting. It was I think one of the best times I've had in my life. And I remember before Chak De released, the reviews and the way they were thinking about Chak De wasn't very, very promising, because a lot of them, when the promo released, kept saying, "Arey, ye to sab ladkiyan to Maai lag rahi hai, Maai lag rahi hai." They're also, dusky, and they're not like looking like
glamorous. Yeah, they're not looking like.
What are they doing? It's like a complete madness. What is Mr. Khan done? What is Yashraj produced? And seriously, it was like so I think the whole, they had a whole thing about, promoting the girls one after the other and stuff. They had a strategy plan. They had to change all of that to get Shah Rukh Khan sir in the main frame, saying that, that's, the crowd will come because of Mr. Khan, obviously. Of course, he's a crowd puller, and you've got to give it to him. He's been around. He's done what he does for so many years, and people have absolutely, romanticized him, fantasized about him. He is the really whatever man. You know what I mean? And you got to give it that. I mean, there's a lot of hard work and perseverance and patience that goes in that as well. And also, the first reading that we had with Mr. Shah Rukh Khan was amazing, because we had finished reading quite a bit between us girls. And then when he walked in, of course, the energy changed, because hello, you're in the presence of the Mr. Shah Rukh Khan. So it was, and then after that, I don't know when, he just became our coach, and that is all we called him, coach, coach, coach. And that is it, coach sir. What, all of us had a crush on Shah Rukh Khan. I mean, all of us. He was just this. He used to just be the Papa Bear. That's what we used to call him internally amongst us, because he was so nice to all of us. And he was so, I mean, he did understand that there was a lot. So for him also to sort of come out there and say that, guys, this is your film. This is the girls. I'm playing the coach, and yes, all of that, but it's still yours. And most of them, like you said, didn't know where the light was and how to take the light and what and how. So he was just there every step of the way saying, "Ye tumhara light hai. You need to, be like sort of have that in your head."
I mean, when you're shooting, especially, when you're practicing, when you're in the match, all of those sequences, those are very difficult to be shot, and those are not one take shots.
Right.
They're like retakes that are taken. So how patient, kitna hai patient Shah Rukh Khan?
Incredibly patient. I mean, you do the retakes and all that. Plus, you understand that these girls are fairly new. Plus, you know that some of them have never played hockey. I've never played hockey. Shah Rukh has been a sportsman in his life, but sorry, Coach Sir has been a sportsman. But we like, for example, me, I've never played a game as such. I've been a dancer and all of that is fine. But so it was quite tough for all of us. So I think there was any help that we could get from anybody on set was welcome, really. And he just had it in him to go on with us and actually behave like a real coach and a guardian for us. He's patient, and he's oh my god, and he wears this white shirt and blue jeans one day on set, and we are like, oh my god, like, look at him. He's so hot. We don't want to say it about our coach, but the girls are like, oh, we have these little crushes on our coach. So.
And who were you, closest to? Was it Shilpa, Sagarika, Chitrashi, Tanya? I'm sure, you must have,
I'm very close to them a lot. I think Chitrashi and Sagarika are still very, very close to me. Okay. Everybody else as well. There's Tanya, there's Shubhi, there's Shilpa. We see for a while, but there's always this. I think we've after so many years, we still have that there's something special about the girls, and they'll always be my girls. It's my team.
Yeah.
Like, even then, because I guess I was the captain and I was older than the rest of them, it was always like, okay, they're my girls. It's like this feeling of sisterhood that happens, and me being the sister has always been the thing. But even today, I think each one of us, if anyone's in trouble, we'll reach out. We're celebrating each other's victories, and we're there.
Okay, now after Chak De, you had been up, kidnapped, tum milo to sahi, aapke liye hum, no problem, 10 tola, striker, Chakradhar, and the list continues. Once upon a time in Mumbai, Dobara in 2013, 2015 was Yara Silly, and 2021 was Koi Janna. Then we also saw you in interesting web series. So Chak De really gave you, the much needed in terms of recognition. When it's Bollywood, you need a good project, to be recognized, but also the kind of projects that you were always interested in, going by the list that you have to your credit.
No, so the thing is, I think what happened after Chak De was, I think 8 months or 6 months down the line, the markets crashed. So I did sign a few really good films in the interim. But somehow either they didn't take off or they, got delayed, and all of that happened. So suddenly, after like this rise of the Chak De girls, you sort of didn't see any of us around as such. And yes, I did sign a few films and I did do a few films, but neither of them sort of succeeded at the box office. And some of them, at some point, I realized that I was not happy doing what I was doing, and that's why I just took a break. I think the last film that I did, I just didn't want to do any stuff anymore, because I think when I'm on a set or I'm on my yoga mat, I'm the happiest. and that's the energy that I bring to my set. It's I think it's magic,
Yes.
complete magic when being on set, being an artist on set. And I didn't want to anyway taint that for myself or anybody around me. So I just said, you know what, I am going to teach yoga, I'm going to practice, and that's what I'm going to do, because I didn't think that I thought I deserved much more, and I thought I was fairly talented, and I should do the kind of stuff that gives me, that excites me really, you know. And so I actually took a break and I said, I don't want to do this. So there were calls coming and there were bits and parts here and there, but I think this one particular set that I was on, where it just sort of, I think the hell broke loose in my head, and I said, no more of this. I will never be on a set when I'm not excited or happy. And I waited, and suddenly the web series boom happened, and the first project that I did was season 2 of Inside Edge. Inside Edge season 1 had done phenomenally well, and I think because of Chak, I probably got that part because I played a cricket coach in that one, a bowling coach. And I think that just sort of started the ball rolling for me.
So 16 girls that were selected for Chak De India, you all trained together. You had to undergo the sessions to understand, how hockey is played. It was an interesting mix, of actors as well as the real players. Now, how tough was it, for you to understand the nuances of hockey?
Oh, very tough. So I think I've been a dancer in my life, so I was flexible enough. But being, especially for a goalkeeper, I thought it was really tough. First, I think they thought that maybe I should put on a little bit of weight for the character; it might work for it. But then I think the real hockey coach, Lady Sir, sort of decided against it. Let her be, because with all of that on, she'll anyways look much bigger, and it'll work. So then we sort of didn't go the put on weight route. But I still remember when we were in Melbourne shooting, we faced the coldest day in 50 years and the hottest day in 100 years, or something like that. I remember this so clearly because I know on the coldest day I was fully prepped from top to bottom with my helmet to the pads, everything. So I was like, okay, I'm chilling here. And the girls, my goodness, because it was so cold. We were shooting in the middle of the night, and they used to obviously have the sweat. So to have the sweat, what do? You spray water on them. They would play like that. They were playing games like that, and it was unreal. But then on the other hand, when we it was hot as hell, and I just didn't know what to do with that suit. I couldn't walk after a while. Initially, I think I was only waddling around and trying to sort of get my balance. And by the end of it, I was of course splitting in that suit because I got comfortable with it. But yes, for a year and a half that we were training and shooting, I have lost my toenails and I've been black and blue throughout.